Hello everybody, so it's that time again where we're gonna go through the patch notes breakdown. MapleStory just released a patch notes called Chamion Octofest patch notes, and there are a lot of new changes that are coming our way, and I'm excited to share and catch up on the patch notes with you guys. So stay tuned. Now to start things off with the new content. So as everyone was anticipating, we are getting the new boss Baldrix. So unfortunately, these are for players above 290. I myself cannot be doing it as well because I'm a brick and I ended up playing a lot of different classes, but hopefully I'll be able to showcase that one day on my stream and show you what the boss is all about. For those who are going to be able to do it, obviously, like I said, you need level 290. And the rewards that you get for killing Baldrix is actually a pendant. It's part of the Brilliant boss set. These are the stats that are given to us as well. You also get the Baldrix Roid. A lot of people kind of relate this to if you play League of Legends like Hecarim. It does look like Hecarim actually. I think it's actually pretty good for the Roid. It looks pretty big though, so I know a lot of people don't like a lot of the big aspects of these cosmetic sections of it, but I think it looks cool. We also get traces of eternal loyalty, so they kind of work like the Callus and Cowling pieces and Limbo pieces, where you just, you know, get enough pieces, most likely 10. Yep, as we said, it was 10 pieces, and you can actually redeem the shoes, the gloves, and the cape as well. And I think this is very similar to the same as the Limbo pieces, so you get 2 ways to actually get your eternal stuff. And as always, you do get the chance of an Eternal Armor box. You can choose either the Shoes, Glove, and Cape from the specific Baldrix box. Here, it's just going to show the Baldrix Soul Shard and whatnot, and how the Magnificent Shard looks. And here, we're seeing the Baldrix Soul skill. So once you obviously charge your soul, this is what it will do. 1 for the Magnificent version, 1 for the regular version, and whatnot. So with the addition of the Baldrix release, we are also getting a event, or I guess a quest for Baldrix. And for those who participate in it, it's called Charge Apostles Arena. You have until September 25th to the 15th. Once again, because it's a Baldrix event and a quest, you need to be 290 and have completed all the Talahart area quests. So once again, this little mini quest is for those that can participate, and we've had the similar events for Lotus and Limbo. So basically all you do is kill the boss, whether that be in normal or hard mode. You destroy the box and you are able to complete the mission. Now you are able to receive a mount that looks like this, and also a mask, which actually is not that bad. On top of that, there is a bonus mission. Now this bonus mission is only for hard mode. You need to complete it as well. You basically get a label ring, chat ring, and everything. You also get the background, which is actually a very sick background. I wish I could get this. This would look so sick on my MX just because of the colorings and everything. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to get that, because like I said, I bricked myself. But moving on. And you also get a title. I think it's actually a very cool little effect and aesthetics. Now, the neat thing is that now there is a server-wide completion gift. Now, if Baldrix hard mode is actually defeated once during the event period at all heroes will receive a celebration gift and a daily celebration gift as well. So here are the list of celebratory gifts that we can get. We basically get daily celebration gift for VIP selector coupon. We actually get 2 of them. 4x coupon, mag pods, VIP boosters, and we get a little effect like this, which is actually kind of cool. Moving on, there is a new weapon once again. It's called the Destiny weapon. So we already have the Genesis weapon, so this will be for after the Genesis weapon, and they're naming it the Destiny weapon. Now, in order to participate, it kind of works similar to that of like the Liberation quest, obviously, where you accumulate these points, and to accumulate these points, you actually just defeat certain bosses, just like the Lip quest. For hard, you get 6 points, 80 points, 10 points for Kalos, Chaos, Extreme. These points are also divided by the amount of party members you have evenly. So once again, the more party members you have, the less adversary determination you will get, correct? Now, on top of also accumulating the amount required, you also need to defeat these bosses as well for these quests, just like the Genesis Live quests, correct? So as we were saying, these quests are not easy. These are actually quite fairly hard, and they include you defeat Chosen Saren in Destiny mode, but you have a final damage reduction by 80%. Another one would be defeat Kalos in Destiny mode, but the death count is reduced to 3. And also the same with Cowling in solo and Destiny mode, so final damage is increased by 20%. So these are the bosses you need to kill and need to defeat, on top of also having the required amount of adversary determination from also defeating the weekly bosses. So fairly simple. If you guys know how the Jenny Lib quest works, it's basically the same way. On top of that, the Genesis weapons potential bonus stats and soul weapon statuses are upgraded to the level 250 values, so don't worry about whatever potential you have, and you might actually lose it when you get the Destiny Lib. They will stay the same, so that's a very good thing. Now, over here, they give us a list of how each of the Destiny weapon looks. They actually look very sick. I think every single one of them is very nice to look at. So I'm excited to start my journey in the Destiny weapon prog. It won't be easy, but I think it'll just be a very fun time to work towards something again, especially if it's something with our weapon and whatnot, right? But that being said, Hexa Stat 3 is getting released. As we all know, these Hexa Stats give us a decent amount of FD gain for basically frags. You have to spend 15 Soul Order energy and 350 Soul Order fragments to actually unlock it, and once you unlock it, it would only cost fragments rather than the energy itself. So very nice, very simple. Everyone knows how it works and whatnot. So I'm just going to move on to the next topic, and that is the Maple Points or MVP revamp. So speaking about the MVP revamp, a new rank has been added. It is called MVP Black. Now you need to spend 3 million NX to spend it. Obviously, it is a pretty hefty amount, but if it's something that you generally enjoy and you generally put a lot of time into, especially if it's Maple Story, it shouldn't be that much of an issue for those who do want to spend it. But you do get very, very good rewards for MVP Black. And because the only new thing for this is the new rank, I'll be going through the specific rewards you can get for MVP Black versus the other ranks, because they pretty much stay the same. And as we were speaking about it, we get basically the weekly perks and the monthly perks. So everything is the same for the weekly perks between the MVP Red and Black. The only difference is that you do get 10 MVP 70% bonus EXP coupons, which is the atmospheric event ones, which is very nice, very good amount of EXP, extra EXP. Now, once again, I guess the newest thing that was added for every MVP rank is that you actually get a MVP resort. It works similar to that of like Sauna, I'm assuming, where you basically AFK and you get EXP for it. You actually get 72 hours for MVP Black compared to 48 for Red, which is actually a big amount of difference. As everyone knows, you get the MVP title, you get the MVP medal. Now, everything is pretty much the same aside from the quantity value. Now, the only thing that's different between MVP Red and Black at the highest tiers is that you actually get a prepared Pendant of Spirit for MVP Black. On top of that, we get a new look on how the MVP Black title and medal will look like. I actually very like it. It's very simple, very clean. Now, I might actually have to get it, but I don't know if I'm willing to spend 3 million NX, so that means you guys would have to help me get it, so I'll be waiting for that generous donation. Moving on, basically we get the new MVP chairs. They actually always look really nice. So as we said before, the MVP resort is basically like Sauna. There's going to be a big timer here. You just sit there and AFK. So, as most people were anticipating, there will be a skill revamp because of the 2-minute changes, so they will all be either adjusted or slightly tuned up and slightly nerfed for your classes. Now, this is not something that I'll probably personally go through because there is a lot of information and a lot of stuff that most people don't want to hear about if it's not related to their class. So I'll be linking the patch notes in the description below, and all you have to do is Control F and then type in your class to see what are the changes that are for your classes. There is a lot of changes, so make sure you are looking at this or go to your class Discord to figure out whether or not your class got nerfed or buffed or any new changes that you need to change in sequencing and whatnot. So I'm excited to see all the new bossing content with these new changes, and I hope you guys are as well. So on top of all these in-game changes and new boss contents and all the new contents in general, we are getting some UI improvement and changes. You get fast login UI, only one per account. And we get world selection screen UI, we get character selection UI, job selection UI is actually a very neat change. The character setup is actually a lot cleaner looking as well. The main in-game UI, the nameplates are now changed on top of the HP and MP gauge are changed as well. I know some people have a little bit of differing opinions on the new things. I'm excited for anything that's new, so I am an advocate of in with the new, out with the old. So I'm excited to see how it looks in-game. Obviously, the menu UI actually has changed. Looks a little bit more modern for sure, rather than old school. So those who want to, keep that old school aspect of MapleStory is no longer there. But I think we should appreciate that Nexon is taking the time to try and regularly update the game and keep it all modern and fresh. Okay, we got a new quick menu. The old menu buttons on the bottom right next to the quick slots have been removed now. The quick slots are also changed here. You can now adjust it by 4x2 to 16x2. The equipment tab is obviously different from what we're normally used to in seeing, so this is what it would look like. The title on Metal and UI is, simply dragging it and dropping it and whatnot. The pet tab is a bit different as well. So all in all, everything just seems to be an upgraded UI change. Just to modernize it and keep it a lot more fresh and a lot more cleaner and sleeker looking, which, like I said before, I think Nexon's doing a great job at trying to keep up with the times, so I can always appreciate that. So on top of all the other menu UI changes, we're getting some, common UI improvement changes, some bug fixes, and as always in every patch notes, which is very good for us. There's going to be some quest story and improvement changes. I don't really typically do these quests or pay attention too much, but I know some people do appreciate the story and quest lines, so this will be good for you guys. There's obviously some quest bug fixes as well. So now for the boss reward, there is a thing called Life Boss, Ring Box, and Grindstone of Faith. Now these are the new boss rewards, and the Life Boss, Ring Box are dropped from Kalos, which is only from Chaos and Extreme, Cowling, Hard and Extreme, Limbo, Normal Limbo, Hard Limbo, and Baldrix as well for both versions. Now for this Life Boss ring, you have a chance to attain any of these rings, and the neat part about it is that there's only a 30% chance to attain a level 3 ring, but a 70% chance to obtain a level 4 ring, so the chances of getting a level 4 ring have significantly increased, which is very good considering that they are releasing level 6 Oz rings, so it gives us a chance to get to that point a lot quicker, which is very good for us. On top of the Life Boss Ring Box, a new thing called Grindstone of Faith will be dropping from Normal Limbo, Hard Limbo, Normal Baldrix, and H Baldrix. Now, these are grindstones to polish level 5 rings for a chance to go to level 6 specifically. So make sure, once again, level 5 ring to level 6. Now, this is the success rate for each of the grindstones for the Grindstone of Faith. Obviously, if you use one, 5%, and the more you use, it'll increase by 5%. Here are the level 6 stats for your ring. You guys can look at all these new stats if you guys want to. So it's pretty good. It's fairly good damage. We end up getting a level 6 ring. Now, the new update is that the White Jade ring box that we're normally used to, which was the highest tier of ring boxes, they will no longer drop from Kalos, from Chaos Extreme, Cowling, Limbo, and Baldrix. The Grindstone of Life will no longer also drop from Easy Kalos and Easy Cowling, so you're going to have to be doing these harder tier bosses to get these grindstones. Now that we got all the new boss rewards that can be given to us, we are going to be talking about the boss patterns improvement. So they basically made every single boss a lot easier, a lot less more, less RNG. And I think my favorite part is that they're actually making P2 Chamion balls, the one that gives you damage reduction, completely go away as soon as you bind it, which is super nice. It saves so much time considering that boss, like, we don't have a lot of damage uptime because it's either moving or in the air and whatnot. So this will be a very good change for us. As soon as you bind it, the blue balls will go away, and I absolutely love it. Another good thing is that Will P1, the Moonlight Barriers created. If all party members stay inside, spatial destruction is immediately triggered, by the way. So the test in P1 is a lot faster. It's super nice because a lot of the times you're just in Will P1 and P2 for these tests that literally are super easy to pass and also very unlikely to fail, and you're just sitting there wasting a lot of time. So the fact that we are able to finish Will faster is also a very good change as well. Another good change for a lot of these bosses that people complain about is actually Saren. So it seems like the Sun's Fury will no longer be placed in the same location. So no double pillars will hit you in P1, which I know a lot of people do end up complaining about. Another big change concerning bossing is actually Cowling. you are actually able to regular bind the boss as well, and they're also reduce the amount of HP for the boss. So that just means that players are able to actually go up a tier in bosses and be able to clear it, which is a very, very good thing for us, being able to bind the perils now. That way we have a little bit more damage uptime for the boss rather than, worrying about gauge changes and getting hit. It should be very good, especially in P2 as well, for sure. Inactive character cleanup process is actually a good thing. So there are those who hoard names for a very long time for those who are inactive. And now you are able to actually claim these inactive names that people have held for so long, which is very good. There are plenty of names that people have hoarded that they don't even log onto, and they're just very inactive. So we're finally able to claim those names for the characters that we want, which is super good for us. Now, the new event that will happen right after the maintenance is called the Strange Tides event. So this kind of works the same way as any other events, where you get these coins by completing either the daily check-ins or the weekly check-ins and whatnot. The weekly check-ins are basically killing the 2k mobs, 6k total for that week, etc., which will be shown right here. So like I said earlier, there's going to be a daily check-in and there's also going to be a weekly check-in. There will be a coin shop as well that you guys are able to use your coins for, as shown here. It's a lot easier to actually see it within the game UI than showing it here. I do actually like the damage skin coupon now that I'm just seeing it now, which is super nice and super neat. So the newest thing that they kind of, I guess, added is called the Octo Hunt. It seems like you need to defeat 10,000 monsters within your level range, and it's shared between all your characters. Once you do that, enemy defeat progress is shared between characters. Like I said, it only counts when in a solo party or not in a party at all. Now, when you complete all 5 levels for the basic hunt for the week, so this is like a weekly thing, click the complete button within the UI event and you get these rewards. And I'm going to scroll back up to show you which section of it is. And it seems like it's in the bottom right sections. Seems like when you complete all this, it'll accumulate here. So whether or not you want to collect it, you can collect it. If you don't want to collect it, you can just leave it as is. As with any events that has coins in it and weekly and daily check-ins, we are going to get these event buffs that we can use points on after we do the weekly check-ins and whatnot. And it's the same thing where we can get, the attack power, boss damage, sacred power, EXP obtained, etc. So nothing kind of new there, to be honest. So moving forward, there is a new event called Raise a Golden Octopus. TLDR for this event, you get to raise 1 out of the 3 you can choose. One egg will have advanced EXP voucher, another one will have Soul Urda energy, and another will have Soul Urda fragment. Now, in order to feed and grow your octopus, you would just need to defeat enemies near your level. And after you defeat enemies near your level and it fills the feeding gauge up, you basically press feed at the bottom. Now, the catch to this is that there are success rates for every time you feed your octopus. And there's also failure chances. So there's a success chance, a failure chance, and a flood chance. Obviously, if you succeed, it gains a level all the way up to 8. If it fails, it shrinks and loses a level. But if it's level 2, it will not drop below level 2. Or flood, which means it resets all the way back to level 2. Now, here is the chart that shows the success rates for every time you do try and ending up feeding and leveling up your octopus. And at the highest tier is only a 10% chance to actually get to level 8. The rewards you get for these are listed here. You can at max level get to 6,000 advanced EXP vouchers, Soul Urda, 8 Soul Urda energies, or 300 Soul Urda fragments. Now, these rewards are actually pretty juicy at the highest tier. You do have to gamba a little bit and risk it a little bit for the highest tier because there's such a low chance for it. And there's a potential that you will be ending up, going all the way back to level 2 or losing a level. This will be a once a week thing, so every time the new event ends up resetting, your level for your octopus will also reset as well. There is a participation reward as well for doing this, and it's basically just NX, so if you care about that, it's nice. If you don't, then it is what it is. This is just the coin shop availability for the event. As anyone knows, it's basically the same as any other event, so we're going to skip over that. There's always a meso shop as well that you guys want to spend money on, if you do want to spend money on. And now we're going to be talking about champion burning. Now, we've already talked about champion burning, and we're currently even doing the champion burning right now, but there's always a second part to the champion burning, and it's called champion challenge, where you have to kill these certain bosses with the characters that you selected. Obviously, these are the boss clears that you would have to do. You would basically get these challenge coins and supreme challenge coins as well, and there will be a shop for these. And the rewards for these are indicated here for the regular champion challenge coin shop and also the supreme one. Now, the good thing about this is most people do these challenges in order to get the abyssal rebirth flames, which as you can see is right here from the challenge supreme coin shop. On top of that, once you do defeat these bosses within the supreme challenge mission, which is basically just defeat hard Vihela solo, each character will be able to get the abyssal flames. So it's very nice for your Jenny weapon and some other cool neat events that are upcoming our way. Is the cash shop transfer event that will happen on November 5th to November 12th. On top of that, the Challenger World End of Leap is finally here. So there was always 2 different ending sections of Challenger World, but now it's officially ending on September 23rd. Obviously, you can start using the Luxonis as well after the maintenance on September 24th and after the patch. A new event is called a Haunted Mansion, but this event you won't be able to accept until October 22nd. So this Haunted Mansion is basically just a cool, neat, fun event, and essentially I'll be going through how to do this properly once the event actually comes out, and I can actually showcase and give a guide on it. So with that being said, the rewards you can get is basically these NX sets, which are pretty good and pretty neat in my opinion. So if you guys want this, you guys can participate in it. It's not obviously required because it doesn't really have any like in-game benefits, but aside from the NX and cosmetic aspects of the game. Last but not least, we have the winter cooldown that'll happen on October 15th. All you have to do to participate is check in and get rewards. The rewards you can get are obviously listed in this picture. Or you can just read it down below as well. Last but not least, there are the Sunny Sunday perks. Once again, I'm not going to go through every single Sunny Sunday event, but we do have, you know, some 30% off, some ruin days, 5, 10, 15 events, and all the same things that we usually get during an event period. So I cannot wait for all these new changes to come. And I appreciate you guys for always watching and supporting these types of videos for me. I do like making these videos, so the more feedback I get, the more happy I get, and also the more motivation I do get to release these videos. Once again, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.